know that we've got a chance in every game that we play, but we also have respect for our opponents.
Nigel, let's start with some recent news, the appointment of Curtis Fleming as assistant manager. What does Curtis bring to the whole piece, really?
Something very different. I think we've got good coaches within the club. Both Keith and Simo have a wealth of experience in their skill sets. As with Curtis, they just bring a different blend. Allows me to do what I like to do, and that is manage. And I think it's been interesting. I mean, obviously, the opportunity came through a unfortunate situation that Paul had to deal with on a very personal level. But he's fine, and he's in good form himself now. He's back at work. I'm just pleased to be able to have the opportunity to get Curtis in, because he has his if you like, his people skills are very good as well. So it just brings something that's slightly different, and I think it gives us an interesting balance within the staff.
When you're building a coaching team, what do you look for? Is it personality? Is it technical knowledge, experience?
A bit of everything, in all honesty. And I think inheriting staff is always an interesting sort of dynamic to deal with. And I've sort of over the years, I quite enjoy working with new people, because it's not always about moving with the same people, because every situation is different. I'm very pleased with the staff that we have here, and I've not worked with Curtis before in terms of I know him because I played with him, and we have a shared, if you like, history in some ways. But that's a long time ago. But it's more about what his qualities are, and I think it's the blend of the people that we have in here, which you've got to remember when you're working with a group of players that their needs are all different too. So I just think it helps us out. It's good to have different styles.
You've got Khalifa Cisse and you've got Pat on the goalkeeping side. Are you comfortable now and happy with the coaching team you have?
I would never use the word comfortable. I don't like to be comfortable, but I'm very pleased with what we have, for sure. And that's in terms of the staff are here to get the best out of the players. We as staff our jobs are to maximise the ability and the strengths of the players that we have, and so that goes from whether it's to do with the performance or medical team or the analysts. We're all here to try and maximise the players' potential, and the potential word again. But look, that's what it's about, and so it's important to have the right people in the right places. But it's not about being comfortable. It's not about being. It's not about things feeling safe. It's about having the right people who will challenge both myself and each other and the players. That's what it's about.
Speaking of getting the best out of the players, you're going to need to get a real top performance of them against Fulham.
Yes. Easy answer is yes. And obviously we have respect for them. But the way I want our players to approach every game is, how do we get the best out of ourselves, and how do we beat our opponents? So whether we're playing against a side who's at the top or at the bottom, I don't spend a lot of time looking at the league table. It's more how we evaluate who we're playing, know what they're good at, know where they're weak. But it's always about can we maximise our own performance, and if we play at the levels that we're capable of, then we're capable of beating anybody in this division. But I think that is the beauty and also the frustration of the Championship, that you look at the league table, wow, it's pretty tight right the way through. and even Derby have been deducted, and if you were in their shoes, you look at that and go, yeah, we put a run together. It's not, they're not out of sight, even though it's a big deduction, and that's the beauty of it. We've had some positive match days where we've done well. We've had some frustrating ones where we think we should have done better. And our home form is always going to keep cropping up as the question. But I don't, like I've said before, I don't feel an anxiety, or I don't sense it within the players. It's frustrating for us, of course, and it's a statistic we don't like. But for me, it's just about getting the performance right. If we do that, we've got a great chance of winning the game.
And of those players, Nathan Baker and Andy King, Callum O'Dowd, how are they doing?
Yeah, Nathan had he's been a bit sore, and hopefully he started, as we say, he's been loading it again, so he's been able to put weight through it, and we'll see how he is tomorrow, basically. But he's got a chance still, and I like the fact that we've got a squad now which is pretty available, and it means that the great problems to have, and that is basically who plays and who's left out. And there's going to be some, I've said before, a few grumpy lads, but I'd rather it be like that. They're grumpy for the right reason, and that is that they're desperate to get back in the team. You see Casey Palmer the other day playing for the 23s, and he just wanted to go out there and get some pitch time. It wasn't an easy game for him, but the players are working very hard for themselves and each other, and that's how it's got to be.
Players obviously knowing their own bodies. It's one thing kind of sort of saying, I'm not quite right. Something like Andy King is an ultimate professional.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite right last week. How's he doing this week?
He's available. He's available, and he'll be desperate to play. And look, this is when you get competition for places, and if players actually believe when they get their opportunity, if they take it, they stay there. That's what it's about. They drive selection as much as availability is one thing, but performance drives selection. And look, I'll get it wrong from time to time. Of course I will. But it's nice to be in a position where you have to make decisions.
You talked about the competitive nature of the championship. Yeah. Is it the case where you have to operate at 95, 100% to really get the result? Like you can't dip at any time because it's so tight.
Yeah. Okay. So physically, we've talked at length this year about being a fitter and fitter squad, but if individuals are as close to their max as possible, I think it goes without saying that in any game that you play, mistakes will be made. But I think if the positive intent is there, and we have a really good group ethic now, which is developing, and the players drive that. It's got to be that way. Yeah, I think we know that we've got a chance in every game that we play, but we also have respect for our opponents, and this is the thing. So when you play against sides who are at the top of the league, I don't really approach it in any other way. I would give teams in any position in the league the same level of preparation, sort of detail and respect, but it's always about what we do ourselves. Because if we don't perform at our best, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. It's you've got a better chance of winning if you're at your best, and then if you come up against a side who's better than you, it happens. But the game against QPR is a good example of, I got asked, were we lucky? Well, I don't know what luck is, in the sense that we had opportunities and we scored 2 really good goals, and we defended with a spirit and commitment which was very visible. And on another day they'd score more goals and they'd probably beat us, but they didn't, so I'm not bothered. We've had frustrated days where we feel we should have won games and we haven't, and I don't go at the end of the game. I don't moan about it. It's what it is. It's you have to accept that on some days things will come together. Other days they don't always, but you've still got a chance of getting a good result on those days. It depends on your mindset.